Hello. Are you seeing my screen? Please type in the comment section if you are seeing my screen. Okay. So you are all welcome to this class. Please, if you join, just enable to like the videos. Just drop your link, your name, so you know you are starting now. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to CIT104. That's Introduction to Computer Science. Sorry, to computer. No, I'm a computer science student. Sorry for the mistake. So today we are beginning module 1, that is understanding the computer, before we even talk about programming, hardware, or software. So you first need to understand what is computer. Like on a nutshell, what is computer? That's what the course material is talking about. For that, unit 1, what is computer? So for here, this is a run through of the set of the units. Module 1 is Module 1, Unit 1. The units present the definition of computer, basic understanding of data processing, the concept of data and information methods of data processing, and characteristics of a computer. So we are about to start. We are going to explain it in a layman's knowledge, in a very understandable way, because I know that some of us might not be able to attend the class. Let me see. I want people to see me well. But some of you must not have been able to attend the class that they normally do. So I will use the opportunity to make sure that we all understand what we are doing. Part 1. What is a computer? Let's start with that one. Please give me the meaning of a computer. Drop in the comment section. Let's work with that. What is a computer? Drop in the comment section. Please, people should talk. What is a computer? What do you know about computer? Just say in your own layman's knowledge. What do you understand by the word computer? Hello? Please, it is your first time joining here. Please enable to subscribe to this channel so you not miss any class. Enable to subscribe to the channel. So we are starting right away. From what we see in the course material, so that a computer is basically a machine that is used for processing data to produce required information. Are you seeing what I'm doing? Please, if it is your first time joining this class, please Enable to subscribe to the channel so that this is what we are going to be doing our classes every day. So a computer is basically a machine that is used for processing data to produce required information. Just like our brain. Just like our brain. That's how a computer is. Our sense organs send information to the brain. Our sense organ, that is the eyes, the eyes for sight, the nose for perceiving smell, the ear for hearing, the tongue for testing. So it's the same thing as computer. They have peripherals that send in information. That is, for example, what you see with your eye. For example, now what you see with your eye is what you are going to use, is what your brain is going to process. Hope you are getting me. What you see with your eyes, what your brain is going to process. Now, as your brain is processing, that's the CPU of the computer. The computer has a CPU, and that's the brain of the computer. So whatever we are seeing from our own inner mind is what the computer, is what the brain, the CPU is going to process. So it has process and output units. For example, now, if you touch, let me say you touch, for example, now, you can see this stapler. If I mistakenly use to staple my hand, I'm going to feel the touch on my hand. That is the pain is going to be on my hand. That touch first. That is the sense organ of skin is receiving the touch first. Now my brain will now calculate that is a touch and it's painful. So that pain that I'm feeling is the output that the brain is calculating to bring out, which is the pain that I feel. Am I even see blood? That's the output. Hope you understand me. That's the output. So the computer has three different units: the input unit, the processing unit, and the output unit. So we are going to discuss that in a jiffy. So what do you mean by input device or the input unit? The input unit is where data enters into the computer. For example, now we have the keyboard, we have the mouse. Now the keyboard is used to put in, most of us have laptops, so we use desktop safe. So we use all these things regularly. So the keyboard is what enables the computer to send information or signal to the CPU, because CPU is like the brain of the computer. It controls, manipulates, and solves everything that is meant to be solved by the computer. It's the one that runs everything. So the keyboard will now input the information, the data, to the computer, to the brain of the computer, is the CPU. Now the CPU will now process it and bring out output. For example, now if you write A on the keyboard, on this keyboard, if you write A now, it's going to send to the CPU first. The CPU now process and see that, oh, that is A. Now bring out A on the keyboard, on the monitor. So the keyboard now is the input device. The processing device is now the CPU, while the output device in this scenario is now the monitor. Hope you understand me. So, for example, now this is how it works. Imagine if I enter our score like how school is doing now. They enter our scores, means a score of 5 students into the computer. Or let's use 3 students, that will be easier. 70, 80, 90. And they ask the computer to bring out the average. When they ask the computer to bring out the average, now the computer is going to collect those inputs first. Those 70, 80, 90. Going to collect the inputs first. Now, when it collects the input, it's going to bring out it's going to process it in the processing unit, that's the CPU. Now, when it's done processing it, it's going to bring out an output, which is the average that it was asked to perform. Hope you understand me. It's going to bring out the average which was asked to perform, which will be the answer. That is going to be 80. So the average of 70, 80, 90, the computer will bring the output as 80. That is, input is going to be 70, 80, 90. Processing is going to be, the computer calculate the average. The output is going to be 80%. I hope this makes sense to you, because this is what we are actually going to be facing. Everything about computer is just real life. So this is input, processing, output. Now let's go to the difference between data and information, because this is where most questions come out in exams. Difference between data and information. I'm sure most of us must have known the difference by now. Plus, please, who can tell me the difference between data and information? Say it in the comment section, please. The difference between data and information. I'm waiting to see comments. What is data? Data is any material that is a fact about somebody, an object, or a place. Any material, anything that rhymes with someone's identity. For example, now your age is a data. So if they collect the age of, let me say, 5 of us, 5 people, like 5 of our students, if they collect our ages, different ages, that will form the data. Hope you understand me. If they collect our ages, our different ages, that will form a data. That's not an information yet. So the material that defines as fact about a person or up to a place, for example, name, age, school, or class is called data. I hope you understand me now. So data are raw facts that have not yet been processed. They are going to be processed. For example, now you say Thompson is 50 years. Now you say Thompson is 50 years. He's doing computer science and his score is 75. You say Thompson is 50 years. He's doing computer science. His score is 75%. That is what we call data. Because that score has not yet, that age has not been processed. Because not only me that they are going to get that information, to process that information, it's not only me that have collected the data to process the information. So they might say like 5 students, they will write our names, they write our ages, they write our different courses and our scores. No matter what, they want to pick the best of each department. So we'll not pick it one by one. They will not say, what is the average score of this whole age, of this whole student that we're picking, the 5 students. That's what forms the information. So data are just raw facts that have not yet been processed. Collecting facts from different people. For example, now doing projects, our seniors, they used to go to different companies to collect information. Those are doing management science, yes. They used to go to different organizations to get information. Even those that are doing nursing, they used to go to hospitals or even normal people outside. They used to go to collect information. From that information, that's what they'll be using to analyze to get data. Sorry. So that data, that's what they'll be using to analyze their information. That data they are collecting. They might collect your name, collect your age, collect your height, your blood group, your genotype. They might even collect your gender. So now they might say, how many female have blood group of O? Understand? That one I'm driving at now. So the number of children and the number of people that they will get that have that particular number of O is what we call the information. That's the information that have been gotten from that particular data that has been gathered. I hope you understand now. I don't understand the difference between information and data now. So that was data I was talking about. Now let's go back to information. Sorry, someone's trying to call me. I'm busy. I cannot pick call now. So now let's go back to information. Information is a processed data that has meaning. That you can get meaning from it. So for example, they can say Thompson scored 75% in CIT104. But remember that the data was Thompson, 20 years, computer science, 75% in CIT104. Now, they maybe like the CIT unit, they want to know, like the director wanted to know what I scored, particularly in CIT104, because you know that I'm doing other courses, not only CIT104. I'm doing physics 102, I'm doing maths 102, I'm doing GST 102 and other ones. So maybe you want to know you want to get particular information of what I got in CIT104. So they will not get they will not go and check my database in my students record. Now say, oh, he got this in CIT104, he got in CIT108, he got in GST 102, but the man said he wants particularly in CIT104. The man say, oh, he scored 75% in CIT104. That is the information they want to send to the man. You cannot just start sending all the data that I've gotten, that I got I got 80% in GST 103 and GST 102, that I got 20% GST 104, that I got this. They will not send to him. They only send the one that I got particularly, that I got 75% in CIT 104. Hope you understand now. So that is what we call information. First is the processed one. So data is the raw material, while information is the meaningful result after processing. Now let's go straight to the methods of data processing. How many methods of data processing do we have? Who can tell me? Let's go to the comment section. How many methods of data processing do we have? It's already showing my screen. Let me hide it. Yeah, method of data processing. How many methods of data processing do we have? I'm not seeing any answer. How many methods of data processing do we have? Okay, I think I've seen 3. There are 3. Please, if you are in this class, please enable to like the video. Subscribe to this channel so that this is what we are going to be doing our normal classes, so that whenever we get revision class, you will also see. The reason I'm doing this thing is because me, not personally, I cannot read alone. That's one thing. But if I'm teaching like this, that's what we did in first semester. That's what we particularly in first semester. There was a group that I was in. They were always telling me to teach them. So this is what I was doing in first semester. Whatever we are teaching, we are learning. And during exam time, this group is going to help us a lot, because I can remember that last semester, let me say, at least 70 or 80% of what we did during normal revision as students came out in exams. At least people could say that, I got this, I saw this, I saw that. At least people could testify that they saw something that we did. There were most of us that were in that group. I don't think up to like 20% got F. I don't think up to 20% got F. If you get F, that means what we did not come out. But at least most of the things that we did came out. I can testify to that one. So please enable to subscribe to this channel, so that this is what we are going to be doing. Not only this course, we are going to do other courses. We are going to do other revision courses. Thank you. Please, those people that see the invoice call in group, tell them to come online. Tell them to join the class. This class is going to be beneficial to everyone. No matter what you might say, it's not going to be beneficial to you today, but tomorrow you are definitely going to need it. So subscribe to this channel. Thank you. I also share the link to other people. So let's go to this thing. There are three types. There are three methods of data processing. You have the manual method, you have the mechanical method, you have the computer method. You have the manual method, the mechanical method, and the computer method. Now, what do you understand by manual method? What do you understand by the manual method? Can you drop in the comment section? Let me add it so you don't see. Drop in the comment section. What do you understand by manual method? When you say manual method of data processing, what do you understand by it? I'm not seeing people. I'm not seeing chat. Please, if you are just joining us, enable to subscribe to the channel so you'll be able to see other updates. Also, on your notification button to all, on it to all. So whenever we are having class, even though you are not available, you will see it and you can come and watch it later. It's important, sure. So, as the name implies, manual method of data processing. From the customer, I said the manual method of data processing involves the use of chalk, wallpaper, this device machine or tools that facilitate human efforts in recording, classifying, and manipulating this thing. Let's go for that. Let's leave course material first. Let's go to what you understand in a layman's knowledge. Now, anything that involves it using your hand to arrange data, anything that involves you using your manpower, your effort, using pen, using pencil, using paper, using eraser to organize a file is called manual data processing. What do I mean by that? For example, now, maybe you are working in an office. They ask you to sort out the files of all the females. Maybe they are doing, let me say, a competition. So they need a file of all the females, every single female that's in that particular competition. They need a file. Now, the act of you going by your own self to be sorting the file one after the other is called manual data processing. Now, as you are sorting it out, mind you that you are going to write them out. They may ask how many females are there, how many females are in that competition. You write it out. So that means you are using your pen to write it out. You are using your hand to undo the files one by one without using the computer system to do it. And this method of file processing was most like common in the ancient days when computer was not really, like, systems were not really introduced into the economy of the society. Now most of us we use electronic, but then manual data processing was the key. And from what they said that manual data processing is like a way of using your own sense of thinking. You don't need the computer to think it for you. You use your own sense of thinking, your own manual effort, everything that involves your body to organize a file, select it, and handle data, handle files, so that information will be brought out. For example, now it has to bring all the females. Now, the ability for you to start out those female candidates and write out the number that they are. That number is called the information. That's what we learned like earlier. That number is called the information. So, manual file processing involves using anything that involves using your hand. But let's go to the course material. Now, you know now, if you don't know what is the course material, now, voila. Most of them are taking our first semester exams. You know what it means. So, now says, the manual method of data processing involves the use of chalk, wall, pen, pencil, and the like. These devices, machines, or tools facilitate human effort in recording, classifying, manipulating, sorting, and presenting data or information. Understand now? So anything that involves you using your hand must be involved in it. Your brain too must be involved in it. It's what we call manual data processing. So that the manual method is cumbersome. It's very big because, for example, now look at this file. You have to sort all this file alone. Look at this file in our office. You have to sort everything here. When you have just used the computer, when the file has just been installed in the computer, you use the computer to process it. It's going to be cumbersome. It's going to be tiring. So the ability for you to do these things, you are going to be tired. No matter what, even though you are a machine, you're going to be tired. Understand? So you say that it is cumbersome. It's going to be tiring, boring, and frustrating, and time consuming. Furthermore, the processing of data by the manual method is likely to be affected by human errors. Because imagine you selecting like 1,000 files in a day. At some point, you will give up. Even though you are the boss, you will give up at some point. 1,000 files a day, what will you finish? So that you are prone to error. You can maybe select, you can what is on papers are like stick together. You can select them as two instead of one. Just select it like bam instead of one paper, and that is an error already, and it's going to give a false result, a false information if you ask. So it was error prone. So when there are errors, then the reliability, accuracy, neatness, and tidiness, and the validity of the data would be in doubt. Understand what I mean now? So like if there's an error now, that means the reliability of this data is no more valuable. You cannot rely on it because there's error, and anything that's error, even though it's one error, it has altered the ultimate function of that information. You are going to get a false result. So it was tiring. I'm sure it was time consuming. It's time, not even I'm sure. It's time consuming compared to the electronic one. That's the computerized one. So that there is virtually no creative thinking. Okay, sorry, that is for this. Furthermore, so the manual method does not allow for the processing of large volume of data on a regular and timely basis. So for you to be able to achieve effective results, like a meaningful result, you know what I mean by meaningful results? You have to be doing small every day, small every day, small. Please, I hope you are taking note because this thing might come out in exams. Nobody knows. This is now for you, and you all know how now operates. This might come out in exams. So please, endeavor to write notes. Please write notes. Any small thing I'm saying that makes sense to you, endeavor to write it, because you might see it in your exam. That is now for you. Then the second one. Now the first method of data processing was the mechanical method. Now we're entering the second one now. Sorry, the first one was the manual method. Now we're entering the second one now, the mechanical method. Please write it down. The first one, the manual method, involves the use of machines and the use of equipment like chalk, wall, pen, pencil, all these tiny equipment to help you to handle files. That's just the nutshell. Now the mechanical method. The mechanical method of data processing is simple. For the name, mechanical, you know, it's machines. So it helps. That's you use machine here to assist humans in processing data. Here, use machines to assist humans in processing data. Remember, in the manual one, you don't use any machine. You only use tiny equipment like pen, pencil, eraser, chalk, or the wall to organize your data. Understand one? Now, in the mechanical one, you use machine. The word mechanical comes from machine. So use machine to assist you in carrying out this function. For example, you can use a typewriter in those olden days. Now the keyboard has replaced the typewriter now. So those days, you use typewriter to input data. And that one is faster than sorting out data with your hand, which is the manual one. So please, if you are just joining, please enable to subscribe to the channel as I was saying before. Like the video and comment on it in the comment section so that we can know how we relate to one another. Please, for those that are not able to join, after share this video link to them so that they can watch it later in their leisure time. Because I know some people are still at work safe. Some people are in night shift. Some people are just coming out from work so they can be tired. Please, thank you. Also, enable to share the link again to the group so that people can join. Because some people are just joining the group now. And if you know that there are other computer science students, CIT104 students that are in other groups, please endeavor to share the link to those groups so that they can also be able to join the class. Thank you. Now, this is our first lesson, so people are not plenty, but in subsequent times, people are going to join in massive. Thank you. So, the mechanical method, as I was saying, use machines, use machines to carry out this data processing. Okay, let's read from course material. I said the mechanical method of data processing involves the use of machines such as the typewriter, the radio machines, adding machines, and the likes. These machines facilitate human effort in recording, classifying, manipulating, sorting, and presenting data or information. You understand now? So, for example, now use typewriter to input your data into the system. Instead of using your hand to sort it one by one, using your pen to write it. In this one, use the typewriter to process the data to the system. So at least it's going to give you an head start. Instead of you using your pen, stressing your head, your calculator to be calculating, adding the scores. Use the adding machine to be adding it, and it will be giving you results one by one. So I can say that the use of calculator is actually under this mechanical, because in manual you use your brain and your hand to calculate it, but the use of calculator. So imagine you calculating the scores of 100 students in one day, like calculating them one by one until it's 100 in one day. Your body will tell you. But with the use of calculator or adding machine, you can do that easily. Search for mechanical method. So the mechanical method does not allow for the processing of large volume of data continuously and time. At least, or this does not allow, but at least it's better than the manual one. It's better than the manual one. Come on, it's better. Look at it now. This have to be stressing your brain, calculating, dividing. You imagine that they say you should divide scores and the average of 20 students. So after adding all the scores, come and divide. I can remember when I asked my small brother, I asked him to divide 20 by 4. The way he was counting 20 first, or not dividing, like not counting like every single 4 he will cut. Every single 4 he will cut. Every single 4 he will cut. The thing was actually funny because, or like, never me, like before me I started asking because I've already calculated my brain, because now we are mature now, at least we have reached a level that we can do some calculations using our head. But because it's a small point, that's exactly the mechanical type of data processing. It's calculating one by one. I'm sure that most of us must have been doing it. Even me, I did it when I was in primary school. You use your hand to calculate it. You calculate how many 20 into 20. After every 4 you cut, that's you write 1. 4 you cut, write 2. 4 you cut, write 3 until it is 5. Now raise your hand. Auntie is 5. As a smart student, for your mind you are a smart student. When the auntie has finished calculating it by her own. So that's exactly what happens in mechanical. Use calculator, use like at least, even though it's not dosified, how will I put it? Even though it's not like a computer, at least you use machines to facilitate your copying, your analyzing of data, your manipulation of data and other things. So let's go to the computer method. This is the Google. This is the main guy. This is the guy that we are using, that most of us are using now. Most of us are working. We understand what I mean now. Everything is just simple. You know that computer can, from the beginning of the lesson, we said that a computer accepts data, processes it, and brings out information. Accept data, processes it, and brings out information. Hope you are hearing me. So using this computer method, that means the computer is going to help us to any information that we put in using our keyboard to enter into the computer. The computer will surely accept it. That is number 1. It's going to process it using the processing unit. That is number 2. And it's going to bring out output. It's going to bring out output. That's number 3. So it accepts information, and it accepts data, because what the computer accepts is data. It processes it and brings out information. Are you hearing me? So the computer is the simplest, like the easiest. Errors, you cannot see errors. The computer helps us store data and instruction, correct errors, and neatly bring out information that we want. It brings out reports in different forms. You can give query anything you want from the computer. First, you have inputted the correct data. That's another thing. That's another thing that hinders correct results. If you have put correct data into the computer, it's going to bring out correct results, unless your system has faults. But if not, It's going to bring out correct information as the result. Hope you understand. So that the computer method of carrying out data processing has the following major features. Data can be steadily and continuously processed. You can do like 5 things at the same time using the computer. That's parallelism. So you can continue processing your data as long as the system is on, as long as you keep on feeding it with the adequate information. Please note this: the adequate information and adequate data. For us to keep on feeding with adequate data, you are going to be getting adequate results. Thank you very much. So the operations are practically not noisy. You can see now, in mechanical one, compare this to the mechanical one. The typewriter that used to make noise, bam, 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 bam before, but on the manual one, before you keep on flipping files, noise. But the computer just press your keyboard. It's not just rhythmical. It doesn't make noise. Like 20 people can stay here and process data using computer, and someone outside the hall will not even know that something is going on. That's one thing about the computer data processing. That's the advantage. No noise. You won't even know that something is going on. There is a store where data and instructions can be stored temporarily and permanently. Yeah, let me bring this one. For those of us that are doing computer science in CIT101, yes, CIT101, we are taught the difference between RAM and ROM. And please mind you, because you did not do CIT191 doesn't mean that they cannot bring that question here, because this is introduction to computer science, and I'm sure and definitely sure that during the course of the lesson, during the course of this course, we are going to encounter this RAM and ROM thing, because it's a general computer stuff. You must know about it. You must know about RAM and ROM. So I'm sure that as you are going on, you are going to encounter it. So now please bring out your pen and paper, anything you are using to write. Let's write like this. A ROM. Please let's write. ROM, read only memory. ROM means read only memory. Please let's write. ROM means read only memory. Now, what does it mean? Read only memory. It is a place, it is a storage in which the files are being stored permanently. ROM is a storage space in it's a permanent storage space. So it is a secondary storage device because it stores data permanently, information permanently. ROM stands for read only memory. Now it stores information permanently on the computer. For example, now if you are working on the document and you click and you are done with your documents, you click Ctrl S, that is save as. You input the file and save it. It is going directly to a ROM. That is the permanent storage device in the computer. Please write it down because you might see it somewhere in exams, or even TM you might see it. Now, what is RAM? We have RAM. Now, RAM is random access memory. Random access memory. RAM is random access memory. All people are writing it. So what does it do? What's the function of the RAM? A RAM stores data or information temporarily when the system is turned on. Please, that particular clause is very important. RAM stores data or information on a system. It's not even an information that is storing, it's data, because what you are working on when the system is still on. When the computer system is on. For example, now, let's use our mobile phones, for example. Maybe if you are going, let me say you open Google Drive now. You are going with it. Now switch to WhatsApp because you saw a message on WhatsApp. You now switch to WhatsApp. Now, you know that Google Drive is being on the recent, on tabs, it's on the recent now. So you go over to your WhatsApp, you're now chatting. After chatting, now come back and say that there is an email sent to you from the school. School just sent you an email. So now open the email. Now you have on your tab, you have Google Drive, you have WhatsApp. Now that email you are opening, that Gmail app you are opening is still on the tab too. Now You don't remember that, oh, you're working on Google Drive before, now come back. Maybe you are watching a tutorial video on Google Drive. Now come back to watch it. Now, what is in your recent now, your Gmail and your WhatsApp. Now, if that phone eventually turns off and you on it again, you power it on again, you are not going to see any single tab again, like any recent again. That's because the RAM of that phone has been erased. That memory that was carrying at that particular point has been erased. So that's the function of RAM. As you're working on the computer is still on. Any amount of apps that you are going to open on your phone is going to be stored in the RAM. Immediately that system or your phone turns off, is gone. The RAM does not hold it again. It's going to hold fresh information, fresh apps or fresh data that you're going to be working on. So that's how the RAM works. Whereas the ROM stores information permanently on the computer for retrieval. You can retrieve that one because anytime you want it, because it's there in the computer now, you can retrieve it. Just like that you are keeping money for normal expenses of the day. If you want to buy chewing gum, you remove it from there and buy. So peradventure that the money finishes, is gone now. You cannot get it back. But the one that you put in your saving box is still going to be there. So that's the ROM for you. It's going to save it until you delete it by yourself. Until you delete it by yourself, that's when it's going to go out. If not, it's still going to be. In fact, when you delete a file, it's going to go to the recycle bin. That means the RAM is still holding it. The ROM is still holding it. But if you delete it from the recycle bin or the trash in our phones, it's off. That's when the ROM now loses control of it. Please, if you are just joining, kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, like the live stream, and comment your name so that we know who we are working with. So let's continue what we are doing. We're in number 3. That is, there is a store where data and instruction can be stored temporary and permanent. So I was trying to explain which one stores temporary. So take note, the RAM stores data temporary, while the ROM stores information permanently. So number 4, they say errors can be easily and neatly corrected. Errors in computer can be easily and neatly corrected. You can just click or delete your backspace and all the that you made a mistake can be corrected. But if you're using pen to write it, my dear, you're going to clean, use correction pen. At least someone will surely know that there was something that was written there. I remember some of us when we were in secondary school, when we were in primary school, when they give us results, and you know what, with correction pen, I clean it. So that is mechanical. Then mechanical, that's manual data handling. You're using your correction pen to clean it, and it's going to show. But if it was sent to us, if it was in data, if it was in computer, you're going to correct that error neatly. Now, output reports are usually very neat, decent, and can be produced in various forms, such as adding graphs, diagrams, and pictures, or etc. You can present your information in any format that you want. You can put it in graphical method. That is, you segment it. This represent this, represent this. This particular method is used by all the business analysts when they want to give reports of how the financial system statement of maybe the month or the year. They now show that this sector was doing well, this sector of the company was doing well. They now show in graph. Understand? To show it in, sometimes they will show in table, but in manual or mechanical, that you cannot do all those ones. It's only computer that can do that for us. So accuracy and reliability are highly enhanced. As long as your data are correct and accurate, your information are going to be neatly and accurately presented. Take notes, please. So they said below are 4 attributes of a computer that makes it indispensable to humans. So please, we are going to look at these characteristics of a computer, because this is what makes it very easy for us to understand. The characteristics of a computer: we know speed. Computers possess large amounts of data and information. No, before I go to that, I remember that in our secondary school they told us things about computer. They told us a lot of things about computer. Please, I want us to write down at least, each person to write at least 5 characteristics of a computer. Each person to write at least 5 characteristics of a computer. I want to see the comment section, please. Write at least 5 characteristics of a computer. And what is it? At least Write what you know, at least 5 characteristics of a computer. We know what these characteristics. Please let's write it. Let's keep on going. At least 5 characteristics of a computer. What and what can you see in a computer? I don't want to show. No. Please get the comment section busy. 5 characteristics of a computer, at least. Don't cheat though. Don't use AI. Don't use AI, please. Don't use AI. If I don't join the class, please enable to like the live stream. That one will do to know how many people are active. Please like it. Enable to comment. Enable to subscribe to this channel, because this is what we are going to be doing our classes, normal classes. Every time this is what we are going to be doing. Please, thank you. So let's go back to the main lesson. Cheat everywhere. But using AI to answer. Oh yeah. Let's get back to class. Let's get back to class. So number one is speed. The computer processes large amounts of data very quickly. You can, for example now, you can minimize as many as possible apps on your system and be doing different tasks. For example now, you can do Microsoft Word there, you can do your spreadsheet there, you can do your CorelDRAW, you can do your PowerPoint. You can be designing a particular thing, object in CorelDRAW, and you put it in your PowerPoint like side by side. They are all working concurrently, but you cannot do that using the manual one now. You cannot do that using the manual data processing. So a computer has speed. It can manipulate large data at incredible speed, and response time can be very fast. As far as your RAM is not being occupied, as far as the space in your RAM, sharp. As I'm feeding it, is giving the results. As I finish giving the results. Accuracy. It is accurate in everything, as long as I'm emphasizing on this thing. As long as your data that you are feeding the computer with is correct, it is definitely going to give you correct and accurate answer. Please note that. It's definitely going to give you correct and accurate answer. Storage. It has both internal and external storage facility for holding data and information. Yes, we all know this one. Computer has both internal and external storage. You can use a flash drive to be storing this thing. You can even use a disk. For example, now all these CDs, you can use it to store information, and you insert it to the computer. It's going to show on your screen. Flash drive, you can use it. It's going to show on your screen. So that's another function of another characteristic of computer. It has both internal and external storage facilities for holding data and instruction. That this capacity varies from one machine to another. Please note this particular one. Carry your pen and paper, please. Those are not in the group. Those are not in this live. Please tell them to come here now. Please, this is very important. They say that memories are built up in kilo. That means the unit of measuring files in a computer is called kilo. Please note that. Memories are built up in kilo modules, where 1 kilo is equal to 1024 memory locations. Please, those that did CIT191, they can testify what I'm saying now. That what they will ask you is not what you will even read. But everything is definitely in the course material. But for you to identify that particular place, the wahala. They can those people that I don't do, I'm sure they use AI to set these questions. I'm very sure they use AI to set these questions. So, is that memories are built up in kilo modules. That's the unit for memories in computer. And 1 kilo module is equal to 1024 memory locations. Now, let me give us another name for this memory module. Its memory location is called byte. BYTES. Please write it down. BYTES. Byte. 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 BYTES. That's the unit of measuring memory in computer. Please. Automatic. Once a program is in the computer's memory, it can run automatically each time it's open. Yes, exactly. For example, now Microsoft Word, anytime you click on it, it's going to run. CorelDRAW, anytime you Excel, anyone, Gmail, as far as you have installed in the computer, anytime you open it, it's running automatically. Don't need to install it again. Or if it's outdated, you have to update it. If not, it's going to run automatically. Now we have the reliability. Being a machine, a computer does not suffer human traits or tiredness and lack of concentration. It will perform the last job with the same speed and accuracy as the first job. So unless the computer has faults, it's still going to process data as it was processing the first one. Unless it has faults. If not, it's still going to process data as it was processing the first one. It doesn't get tired. It's not human being that says it's tired. You as operating it, you're the one that's going to be tired. But as for the computer, as long as you have energy to keep on feeding with commands, it's going to respond to it. Hope you're getting me now. Flexibility. Computer can perform any types of task. The computer does not become tired. That is for reliability. For flexibility, a computer can perform different tasks when those tasks can be reduced to logical steps. Understand? When they can be reduced to logical steps, they can perform plenty tasks at the same time. Modern computers can be used to perform a variety of functions like online processing, multi-programming, real-time processing. Now, most of, for example, now, I'm sure that most of them have been going to eateries. We see how they are doing it now. They are using computer to process orders now. So that's the function of computer.
Incoming call from Rachel identified by Truecaller.
Now let's go to the computing system. Okay. Before I move from that one, please, who can mention all the characteristics of computer again? You have mentioned how many now? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Please, who can say the 6 characteristics of computer? Please drop in the comment section. The 6 characteristics of the computer. Let me see who is fast. The 6 characteristics of the computer. Let's go. Time has gone. Let me continue. It is called speed, accuracy, storage, automatic, reliability, and flexibility. Now, there's an acronym that we can use. We have an acronym that we can use to remember it. It's SARF. SASAF. Just to remember it, I beg. I don't know what I'm just forming it. Just to help us to remember it. SASAF, that is SASARF. The first S stands for speed. A stands for accuracy. S stands for storage. That is second A. Second A stands for automatic. Then the first R stands for reliability. And F for flexibility. Please, we should be able to understand these things so that during exam you can remember them. So we move straight to the computer system. A computer itself is only one part of the computer system. A computer itself is only one part of the computing system. So the computing system is made up of 3 different parts: the computer user, and the computing environment. So, for example, now the computing system can be like our laptop with us, me that is using the laptop, I'm part of the computing system, and the room that we are staying to accommodate the computer and do the processing. So those 3 components, please note this, write it down. A computing system consists of 3 different components: the computer system, the computer, the user, and the computing environment. Please enable to write that down. That's very important. Now the computer system. The computer system is made up of hardware and software. We know that one now. The hardware is the input unit, the processing unit, and the output unit. So the hardware consists of three different parts. Three different parts. The input unit, the processing unit, and the output unit. Please, for those that have gone to the group to chat, please tell them to come online again. That we are entering the computing system. This thing is very important. Please, this is very important. I think after this one, we just take historical overview. No, we take that one the next day. So, let's finish with this computing system, please. For those in the group, please just give me. Let me go and talk to them. Please. So, please, you guys give me five forms of 5 examples of the hardware components. I'm coming. Give me 5 examples of the hardware components. Please, 5 examples of computer components, of the hardware components. Please drop in the comment section. I'm waiting for this thing. I'm waiting for answers. So I was telling us to give us examples of the hardware components. At least person to give at least three examples of hardware components. Okay, I'm back. So what the hardware components say before you give examples? These are components that we can see with our eyes, or we can touch. The one that the things that we can you see with we can touch with our physical hands. These are the hardware components. So it consists of the input unit, the processing unit, and the output unit. Please, comprise of the input unit, the processing unit, and the output unit. Those are the hardware components. Now the input unit consists of those things that we used to put data into the computer system. Anything that we used to feed data into the computer system is called the input unit. For example, the keyboard. We use the keyboard to feed data into the computer system. We have the mouse. We use the mouse to click any place that we want to, any section we want to click. Now, that click you are clicking, you are sending signal to the computer. So any device that sends signal to the computer system is called the input system. Please note that, very important. Any computer device that sends signal to the computer system, to the processing unit, is called the input device. For example, on the keyboard, the mouse, the joystick, the trackball, and the scanner. You know what scanner is now? It's at the eye of the computer. You just scan your documents. You are inputting the file that you want to scan. So that scanner is the input device. Now we have the processing unit. The processing unit is made up of the arithmetic and the processing units. The processing unit is made of the arithmetic and logical unit, rather, sorry. The control unit and the main memory. Please carry your pen and pencil and paper. Write down this thing I'm about to say now. It's very important. They might ask us this now. The processing unit of a computer system comprises of 3 units. The processing unit of a computer system comprises of 3 units. Please, you carry your pen and paper, write it down, please. Number 1 is the ALU, which is the arithmetic and logical unit. Well, the arithmetic and logic unit, no Carlo, beg, before you go and put that, they will mark you wrong. The arithmetic and logic unit. Please take notes. Take notes. Take notes. The processing unit consists of 3 units. Number 1, yes, the arithmetic and logic unit, that's ALU. Number 2, the control unit. And number 3, the memory unit. Please write it down. Write it down, it's very important. Write it down, it's very important. Please, it's very important. The processing unit consists of 3 units. The arithmetic and logic unit, that's the ALU, that's just 1 unit. That ALU is just 1 unit. The control unit and the main memory. Now, the main memory is also known as the primary memory. Yes, thank God. You see this RAM and ROM that I was talking about? It has finally come. See, the main memory, also known as the primary memory, is made up of the read-only memory, that's RAM, and the random access memory. Also now we are going to see it somewhere now. I knew it. Because I've had this computer. And please, for those of us that were not able to attend early, when I was explaining the read-only memory and the random access memory, the read-only memory, that's the ROM, stores information permanently on the computer, while the random access memory only holds data or information when the computer is still on, when the system is still on, when there's still power on. When once you off your system or there's power shortage or anything happens that the system goes off, the data that the RAM was holding automatically is lost. Please take note, automatically is lost. So whenever you are working the system, notice it, that when your system eventually goes off, that you cannot see your recent, when you turn it on again, you cannot see your recent files again, because the RAM has lost its memory. So that it's volatile, it's a volatile memory storage. Some exams, like I think I saw that in my exams in CIT104. Yeah, I saw it something like that. So the volatile storage units in which data are lost once this power outage, something like that, is called RAM. It only holds information when the data computer is still on. So back to the main course. So the processing unit, I said it before, consists of 3 units. The ALU, that is the arithmetic and logic unit, the control unit, and the memory unit. Please, this ALU, let me just give an overview of it, because they might ask you, but they might explain later in the course of the lesson, but in the course of the course, like during the course, but they might ask you, in case they ask you. The ALU is responsible for all the calculations. The ALU is responsible for all the calculations in the system. So anything, whether you're working on Microsoft Excel, you're working on you're using a normal calculator, anything that concerns calculator and logical thinking, that's taking decisions logically, is the ALU that takes control of that. Please note it. Anything that deals with calculation and logical thinking in computer, it is the ALU that controls that particular segment of data, and it's the one that produces the results, because it's under the processing unit. It's under the processing unit. So please, I'm sure you understand what I mean, what I'm trying to say now. So anything that has to do with calculation, logical thinking. By logical thinking, I say if A is less than B, That's a logical thinking. That's a logical equation, logical statement. A is less than B, or A is greater than B. That's a logic. So that involves thinking. So the part of the computer the brain of the computer that deals with that particular thing, calculation and logic, is the LU. While the memory, memory units now, it stores information, both permanent and temporary. So that is it for that part. Let's continue. Now the output unit, from the name, the output unit is the part of the computer system that gives out results. Anything that brings out results, that brings out information that's been processed by the computer, is the output unit. For example, now our printer is an output unit, because you just send a soft copy from your phone or from your laptop to the printer, and it prints out a hard copy. That hard copy is the result, is the information. So that is the output that is bringing. So it's an output device. Your monitor, you just type in a text from your keyboard, and suddenly it is being processed in the processing unit, and the information comes out in the output unit, which is the monitor. So you are able to see what you are typing on the screen. So the screen is now the output unit. I hope you understand me now. I hope you understand that part now. So the screen is the output unit. I said the input unit, the processing unit, the output unit. Those are the three units of the computer system. Please, I hope you understand. I hope you understand. Under the hardware, we have the input unit, the processing unit, the output unit. Under the hardware, we have the input unit, the processing unit, and the output unit. And I said that, and I already said that the ALU, which is the arithmetic and logic unit, controls everything that has to do with calculation and logic. Please. I also said that that the memory unit, the RAM, I also said that the RAM deals with temporary files. It only holds temporary files. Once the computer is off, those files have been lost. Now the ROM is for permanent information. It stores permanent information, like your every single computer has its own ROM that stores data permanently. It is inbuilt in the computer. Even our own phones, we have ROM. So that place that you can store your data permanently is the ROM. I hope you understand. So now let's go to software. This is under the computer system, the software. Now, the computer software is the series of instructions that enable the computer to perform a task or a group of tasks. We already know what the software is now. Series of instructions that help the computer to process a task. We have the system software, we have the utility software, we have the application software, but it's not here. So, a software is any program that enables you to carry out a particular task. The software. I need people to give me 3 examples of software that you know that's working on your phone or your laptop. 3 examples of software. That one I'm waiting for now. 3 examples of software each, please. Give me 3 examples of software. 3 examples of software that you know. Please give me 3 examples of software. 3 examples of software that you know. Let's get the class engaging. I'm not the only one that will be talking. Let me say in the comment section. 3 examples of software that you know. Okay. Please, 3 examples of software. 3 examples of software that you know. Let me charge my phone. I hope you are seeing me now. So, let me just give you an example of software, because time is going already. For example, now I like using Microsoft. I don't know why. A Microsoft Word application is a software, because it enables us to carry out specific tasks. So any program that enables you to carry out tasks is called a software. Understand? Any program that enable you to carry out a particular task. For example, now, if you want to write draft out a document, you are going to use Microsoft Word now. So it is a software because it enables you to carry out that particular task. Please, if you are just joining us, enable to like the stream, comment your name in the comment section, and also subscribe to this channel so that you will not be missing future classes. This is what we are going to be holding our revision classes for those that are going to be available, please. And if you know you do not have time, subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification button so that whenever we are having classes, you can go and watch it later if maybe you are busy at work. The reason why I'm doing this is because most of us don't have time to attend classes. At least 8:30 to 9:30 should be able to help us a long way to be covering some part of this thing and be reducing the way that some of us we don't get score in exams. Because this now, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. That's the truth. I'm sure most of us must have seen our first semester result. You saw the exams. What you order is not what they gave you. It's like being a table. What you order is not what they give you. They give you what they want. So please enable to participate actively. Pay attention. Carry pen and paper. Be writing down. It's going to help us a lot. Person like me, if I'm not teaching like this, I cannot learn. Like in first semester, I used to do class for like our students, our sets. We have a group that we used to do class in our first semester. So they always tell me to teach them because most of us we don't have time. Like work, you know that we are working now. So we don't only in the evening like this. We don't be doing class, and that thing helps us a lot. Mostly during our exams, revision, classes, what we were reading actually came out, and we are happy because at least we saw that our effort was paying. So it's now we be doing this class at least before the end of the semester. We are going to have a great result, and I pray the Lord will give us results according to what we have worked for. So we are back to the software. Any program that enables you to perform a task is a software. For example, now even a calculator app in your phone is a software. Now I was saying that we have 3 types of softwares. We have system software, we have utility software, and we have application software. We have system software, we have utility software, we have application software. For example, now system software is our software that are installed in the computer. This one that we see in the computer is what we call the system software. Understand? Any software that is in the computer is called the system software. For example, now we have the Windows. It's the system software. So any software that controls and manages the computer's hardware and provides a platform for other software is called a system software. Please note this. You might see it in exams. This is not in our course material. I don't know why they not put this, but please notice well that any software that controls and manages the computer's hardware and provides a platform for other softwares to run is called a system software. For example, now most of our systems are using Windows. So Windows is an example of a system software. Some are using Linux. So Linux is an example of system software. That is, you can say that system software like an operating system. Yes. You can say that a system software is the same thing as operating system. So any operating system that you know of can fall under system software. Understand? They run and manage the computer. So that's the function of the operating system. So any software that runs and manages the affairs of other system in the computer is called a system software. Thank you. Now we have the application software. Like I said, they are designed to help users to perform specific tasks. Any software that allows you to help you to perform a specific task is called an application software. For example, now Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, and spreadsheet, that's Excel. What do you have again? We have Docs, Google Chrome, that's for web browsing. WhatsApp for messaging, PowerPoint for presentation, Excel for spreadsheet and calculations. So those ones they help us to perform specific tasks. Specific tasks. These are application softwares. Any software that enables a user, please note this well. Any software that enables a user to perform a specific task is called an application software. Whereas any software that enables other software to run on them, to run on the system, is called a system software. Example of system software, like I said, we have Windows, we have Linux, we have Mac OS. So any operating system that you know of is a system software. Any operating system that you know of, system software. Any software that helps you to perform a particular task is called an application software. I hope you understand now. Now, what are utility software? So there are three types of softwares. Write it down. There are three types of softwares: system software, application software, and utility software. System software, application software, and utility software. So what are utility softwares? What are utility softwares? Write it down. Any softwares that can be used to maintain, protect, manage, or optimize a computer system. Any software that can be used to maintain, protect, manage, or optimize a computer system is called a utility software. From that protection itself, you should know that is an antivirus. That means an antivirus is an example of a utility software. Disk cleanup tool, it helps to manage the files and the storage. It's an example of a utility software. We have 5 compressor, like zip. They help to manage the space. So it's an example of utility software. We have backup software. Backup software that help us to back up our files on the internet. They are examples of utility software. Please be able to distinguish between system software, application software, and utility software. System software, application software, and utility software. Be able to distinguish them, because they are going to be very important and useful to you. Please, I'm begging. System software is something as operating system. They help to manage the affairs of the computer and allow other programs to run on them. Application software help you to perform specific tasks. Whereas utility software enable you to manage the system, protect it using like something like, for example, antivirus, to manage the space using zip and other things. So we move to computer users. Yes, computer users. That's the computer system. The computing system comprises of 3 different components: the computer system itself, the computer users, and the computing environment. The computer user itself, the computer users, and the computing environment. So the computer users, us like this, we are the computer users now. We use the computer every day to perform different tasks. So we are part of the computing system. Understand what I mean? See it here. Aware of the computing system. See the topic here. So we users, we are part of the computing system. But there are different categories of computer system users. Sorry. There are different categories of computer users. We have the professionals. We have the casual users. So some of us have not yet acquire knowledge, they really know that we need to perform particular tasks. We are just computer users. We are not yet professionals. Please note, we are just computer users. We are not yet professionals. So, examples of computer professionals, we have the system analyst. This one, they use the computer system to perform different tasks. System analyst. We have web developers. Those ones are professionals. Please, if you are just joining us, enable to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on your name, subscribe to the channel so that you'll be seeing other classes. I was saying computer users, examples of professionals, system analysts, they analyze data and they make systems. We have web developers, they develop websites, they use the computer system to develop websites. We have the computer programmers, those ones, they make softwares. They make software that, for example now, all these gaming apps, those are the computer program that program the apps. They make those things using the computer system, using some commands. They are programmers, they are professionals. So as far as you have gotten a perfect skill and you have mastered the skill and you have been satisfied in the field of computing, you are called a computer professional. As long as you have been satisfied, you have received the certificate, you have acquired the skills in the computing sector, you are called a computer professional. So us that are still learning, we are just casual users because we don't use it for professional stuff. But some of us that are doing all this video editing, as long as you have gotten the skill and you are using it to make money, then you are a professional to some extent. To some extent, you're a professional because at least you know what you are using it for and you are using it to make money. But for us that are using it for normal office routine or just normal casual users, I don't understand. So, you enter the computing environment. What do you mean by computing environment? The computing environment, they include the building, the housing elements, and other things that surround the computer. So those are the computer. That's the computer environment. Anything that surrounds the housing that the computer is being put on, the cabinet that they put the system inside, the dust will not enter it, or the AC that is here to make this room cool for us computer users to use, they are all called the computing environment. The UPS, what's the function of the UPS? It helps to stabilize data and power. In case there's power outage, it's what enables the computer to switch directly without making the system to crash. That's the UPS. Now the fans, the air conditioner that I said. So this is the diagram that explains the computing system. For here you can see that the computing system consists of the hardware, the software, the users, and the computing environment. Please take note, the computing system consists of the hardware, the software, the users, and the computing environment. Now, thank you, Jesus, that have given us. See what I was suffering myself here. The software, I was saying that 3 types of software: the system software, the utility software, and the application software. System software, utility software, and the application software. This is perfect. I like this. So let's go with system software first. You can see that system software is something as operating system. That means operating system is under system software. Now, utility software, like I said before, they help us to manage the computer. Now we can see that this antivirus helps to protect the system. This scan disk helps to scan the disk in case there's any error or something that is not functionable. And the word processor, well, the word processor is not for it, it's for application software. So the antivirus protects the system against attack. Scans the system in case there's any virus attached to it. Now we have the application software here. We have word processor. Application software is any software that enables users to carry out specific functions. Application software are software that enable users to carry out specific functions. So you can see that this word processor enables us to work with documents. Anything about documents, you can use word processor to do it. For example, Microsoft Word, WordPad, they are all examples of word processors. Now, spreadsheet, example Excel, we use it for calculations. We use spreadsheet for calculations, inputting data. Most of us that are in accounting department or any business part, you use this thing as for your schedule to write the customers, what they bought, how much, which day. The use of spreadsheet enables us to perform that particular task. Now, statistical packages used to perform statistics. Now, computer software, that's the computer software. Now, for the computer users, look at it. We have experts, the end users, and the casual users. The experts, the end users, and the casual users. Please write this down. Write this down. For the computer users, we have the experts, the end users, and the casual users. Who are the experts? You have the system engineers. They are the ones that repair the system in case it has any faults. They are the ones that detect the fault and they repair it. Programmers, they are the ones that write up programs for softwares to be made. Any software that you are seeing running, any application you are seeing running, it is the computer programmer that writes codes. Those codes help the computer to run smoothly on the software. Now you have the computer operators. They are the ones that operate on the computer. They work with the code. Like when the computer programmer writes the code, they are the ones that operate on it. They debug it and they make it to finished product. Now we have data entry clerks. They are professional. They are expert because they have been trained to take charge of that particular thing. They are the ones that enter data. For example, now we have front desk, and this should be an example. Front desk, that is their function. They enter data into the computer. They enter student statistics, student names, their class, their age, everything that they need to know. They enter into the system, and any information that you want to know about your faculty, they are the ones that will check the information and give you the reply. Now we go to the end users as computer users. Some of us are end users because we don't even use the computer for anything. I want to just open TikTok, watch YouTube, enter Facebook, enter WhatsApp message. Like we are not even contributing to the computer system. So we are just end users, we are just consumers. Yeah, consumer, that's the main thing. Main what you use. We are just consumers. All we are doing is just consuming it. I want to just bring it, we are going to consume it. Bring it, we are going to consume it. Bring it, we are consuming it. So that's the function of the consumer. Not only us, even our small children that are not able to use the computer for anything. But and then the casual users, us that use maybe once we or something, which is to just design something. At least we are a part of the system for producing something. Understand what I mean? The casual user doesn't mean that we are professional. At least we are using a part of it that we just know a little knowledge about it to make it productive. That is the casual user. So don't forget, system is a computer software contains of system software, application software, and the utility software. Thank you. Then we enter the computing environment. The computing environment, it has the building, the furniture. This for the parts. Now for the auxiliary devices. What are auxiliary devices first before we mention the examples? Please let's see the comment section. What are auxiliary devices? Let someone help us out. What are auxiliary devices in the computer system, please? Please let the comment section get busy, please. What are auxiliary devices? Let me just save our time. So auxiliary devices are like equipment that are not computer themselves. Like they are not necessarily computer, they are just attached to the computer to help the computer to stay active. Understand? That they're just there to like aid the computer processing to be efficient. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. They made the running of the computer to be smooth, like the running of the computing environment to be smooth, not just their own. Now, example is air conditioner. It helps to control the temperature because computers generate a lot of heat. So, for example, now if there are 20 computers in a room, it is the AC that will help the room to at least to keep cool. So instead of the room being overheated, at least with the use of AC as an auxiliary device, it's going to make the room to still be conducive for working environment. Now, take note, computing auxiliary devices are not actually computer component of computer system. They are not. They are not computer themselves, but are just necessary things that ensure that computers work with them and be attached. Some of them might be attached like the stabilizer now. They are attached to the computer to stabilize the voltage that is coming in, to stabilize so that the voltage will not be too high for the computer. Understand? Now for the UPS now, it's in case there is power shortage, the one that retains particular part of power until they on the another power supply, which is gen. So they're not basically computer in themselves, they're just attached to it. Now, let me just give us examples of function of this voltage stabilizer. You can write it down. A voltage stabilizer helps to maintain a suitable and stable voltage supply to computer equipment. It is what is making the computer to supply, is what is supplying adequate and the stable voltage to the computer. It's not high, it's not low. It's only just to stabilize it, make sure that it's going smoothly. Because each computer has its own maximum voltage that can carry. So once the voltage stabilizer is connected to the computer, it automatically detects the amount of voltage that should be passed to the computer, the current. So it's going to stabilize it from when the voice comes from normal direct source. It's the one that will stabilize it so that the computer will not carry higher voltage than it can carry, which can crush the computer. While the UPS, it provides temporary power when the main electricity is turned off. If you were using NEPA before, it is the UPS that will at least maintain for a small time temporary power. It's not permanent, just temporary power for a little time until the power supply has been brought back to full swing. So, and we can just see that maybe in conclusion of the auxiliary device that does not perform the main computing work. Instead, it just supports the computer and helps to create a safe and reliable environment for the computer to operate. Understand? It just makes the computing environment to be easy. That is air conditioner, stabilizers, transformer, UPS. They are all examples of auxiliary device. So, if you can remember from our first part, this will be the conclusion. From our first part, for those that came late, I'm sorry. But from our first part, we saw that the computer is an electronic device. That's the number one thing. That means it uses power, it uses electricity. Whether it's battery or anything, it's computers, it's an electronic device that accepts data. That's number one. Now, what does it use to accept data? I'm just doing an overview now. Now, what does it use to accept data? Input devices. Now, examples of input devices. If you know right, please make sure you write it now. Examples of input devices. You have the computer keyboard. You have the typewriter. At least those four should do it for now. I think the trackball itself. The trackball should be an example of input device. They're the one that inputs. For example, now I think the remotes that we use in our homes, different homes, even for the AC, for televisions, example of input device. Because as you're typing, for example, for AC, as you're typing, selecting the voltage that you want to use, the temperature, you are sending signal to AC. Now that AC has a processing unit that's receiving that signal that's being sent by the remote to process and regulate the temperature of the AC to the one that has been sent from the input device. Understand? So that means that A remote, this AC remote is an example of an input device. That means the remote is an example of an yeah. Now, so the computer collects data or signals from input device. It processes it in the processing unit. Now, we already said that there are three components of the processing unit. We have the ALU, we have the control unit, and we have the memory unit. The ALU, the control unit, and the memory unit. What is the full meaning of ALU? Arithmetic and logic unit. Arithmetic and logic unit. Now, what else is the function of the what else is the function of the ALU? I already said it before. ALU, anything that has to do with calculations. Please listen. Anything that has to do with calculations. Anything that has to do with logic. Example calculation, like saying add 2 and 3, or add cell A and cell B. Like you can use this in Excel. Add cell A2 to cell A, and beta is sum of cell A2 to cell B2. That particular operation being performed by the arithmetic and logic unit. Now, any operation that has to do with taking logical decision. For example, say if cell A1 is less than cell A2, then result is 1. Or no, is it else? Yes, else false, else 0. Don't understand the question. If cell A1 is greater than cell A2, the result should be 1. Else 0. That means that if cell A1 is less than cell A2 in a particular system that they have fitted scores of 2 students in different courses, maybe the course A1 is for course A, and cell A is for student A, cell B is for student B. So let me say A1 is computers CIT104. So student in A has 75%. Now student B has 80%. Now you say that if cell A1 is greater than cell B1, the result should be 1. That means if student A scores more than student B, the result should be 1. Else 0. That means that if student B scores higher than student A, that means the result is 0. That is a logical operation. I wish some of us are doing computer science. It would have made sense to us, but at least that is an overview of what I'm trying to say. Logical operations have been taken by LU2. Calculation too has been taken by LU. Now we have the memory unit under the processing unit. This is where data are being stored. We have RAM and ROM there. RAM is random access memory. It stores data temporary, whereas ROM, read only memory. ROM means read only memory. It stores data and information permanently in the computer system. I hope you understand the difference now. RAM is temporary, ROM is permanently. RAM is non-volatile, and RAM is volatile because it is easily deleted. It is easily lost. Whereas ROM is non-volatile. RAM is volatile. ROM is non-volatile. RAM stores data temporarily. ROM stores data permanently. I hope you understand it too now. Then we have the control units. I think I not really talk about this one. So the control unit is the part of the computer system that controls and coordinates the activities of the computer. It tells other parts of the computer what to do and how to do it and when to do it. Think of it like a traffic controller. Think of it like a traffic controller. Someone at a traffic light. That traffic warden is the one that will tell you, come from here, you wait, you come from here, you wait, you come from here. So the control unit in the processing unit is what controls the activity, like a CPU. Yes, it's what controls all the activities that is going on in the computer system. The one that tells arithmetic and logic units, LU, this program is for you. This operation is for you. You want to tell the memory one, the memory. Yeah, you collect this one and store. Now, for example, now if you are using your phone to type something, you are working on WhatsApp. Now you now see a message from email. Now leave WhatsApp to enter email. Now that your WhatsApp has been stored in that your WhatsApp has been stored in your recent tabs. Now it's the RAM that's holding. So they see you, they control you to not tell the RAM, hold this particular message for me and call me. The owner is coming back. The owner is coming back. Hold request until it comes back for you. So the RAM will now hold it. Now maybe you're working on spreadsheets and you have like to calculate the sum of all the average of a particular set of numbers. You now can tell the LU. There's a program for you. So get ready. When once you click enter, that particular information is being associated and sent to LU. So all the calculations there is the one that's going to run it. The LU is the part of the computer that is going to run it. So we get back to the control, like I said, is the one that's controlling everything. Now you have the input, the processing, the output. Okay, the output unit is the one that brings out the information. So the computer receives data using the input device, processes it using the LU, the CU, and the main memory. I mentioned their functions now, and produces output using the output devices. Now, what are output devices? They are physical devices that bring out information, either in soft copy or hard copy. Please note that, not just in soft copy alone. They bring out information, whether in soft copy or hard copy. That means, for example, a example of soft copy is in the monitor. You can be typing, you'll be seeing your results on the monitor. That is the soft copy. Example of hard copy, you can send your information. You can print your document, your soft copy, on the printer. That's your hard copy. So the output device brings out either soft copy or hard copy of the data that has been processed in the computer system. I hope you understand. So in summary, the computer system is any electronic device that can access data, process it, and produce an output. I've said that the computer method of data processing is superior to the manual and the mechanical ones. I'm coming, please. Now, the computer system is made up of three major parts. You have the computer system, you have the users, and the computer environment. So how would this? If you came late, I'm sorry. If you came late, I'm sorry, but you have not lost, you have not missed out. You can go back after you are done with this class. You can go back and watch the class again. You can go and watch the recorded class again, because you can sit in the live session. I will send the link to the group again after. When we are done with the class, we'll send the link. So you can go and watch it from the beginning, what we are doing. Please, enable to turn up. We have class tomorrow by 8. Let's say hopefully by 8. Please, we should be able to turn up so that we can cover a lot. We have a lot to learn this semester. And that this semester is going to be short because election is coming next year. So they want everything to end fast. And elections are going on in some, so they don't want it to disrupt students' activities. So please, we have our own part to play in our own success. The earlier the better. The earlier the better. The earlier we put ourselves together. I like that group that we are in, because at least once I tell Mr. Richard, please unlock the group for us, let us have a discussion first. Unlock it. So if you have any questions, if you have watched the recorded class, I will advise all of us to go and watch the class again. Watch the recorded class again, this class again. So in case you have any questions, tomorrow I'll tend to unlock the class, maybe around 11:10. If he has gone to work, if he comes back, tend to unlock it around 11 in the afternoon, in the morning, or 10 in the morning, so that you can drop your questions. Make sure you watch the class again this evening, so that you can drop your questions, what you don't understand, anything you have issue, and able to drop it, because nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows it all. All of us, we are students, we are learning. You might know what I don't know, and Mr. A might not know what Mr. B doesn't know. And through that, we can be able to share information. We should not be flooding the group with unnecessary messages. Please, we should make it to be a serious group. Some of us have seen our first semester results. I'm sure that not all of us that actually got what we ordered. We ordered for good things, but not all of us that got it. So please, we should be able to take this class serious As you're pushing it, tomorrow we are going to have, I think, CIT102. That's a general course. We are not doing general courses for now. At least we should be able to turn up. We should be able to turn up, please, so that we can push it small, small. Before you know, at least before it comes to exams time, you have gone far, and what you have to do is going to be small. So if you are attending classes, and you are taking notes, just for you to be flipping your notes and be taking what you have read, it's going to help us. So if you are not subscribed yet, kindly subscribe to the channel so that you'll be getting info. I'm collecting this channel for this person because he has up to the required amount of followers, subscribers that can actually do live. That's why, because if I was doing Zoom, our capacity might be more than the normal Zoom and laptop capacity. So I had to use YouTube. So because any number of people can enter YouTube and participate in class. This is just the first one. But as we are going on later, we are going to get more people. And please endeavor to share the video, this link, to other people so that they can watch the recorded class. Please endeavor to share to other people so they can watch the recorded class. It's going to help us a lot. I don't feel like God will help us to cover a lot of things that we are meant to do. And this class too is important because you know everything that is in the course material that is complete. For example, now those areas you have explained, those other system units and those functions of software, their development types and their functions and the examples, they are not in the course material. Look at it now. This software, they not even give us the meaning. They not give us what they do. They not give us their function. They just put in the software utility and application. But because we have studied it, now some of us that pay attention, we know what each of it then stands for. We know that a system software, the one that controls the activities of the computer system. Okay, application is for a specific task. Or utility helps to maintain the system, helps to run, helps to protect the system against attack and writing and scans, all those things. The course material is not enough. That's why they will give us reference. Like if you look at the course material, you see reference textbooks that are meant to use and study. So they say that now it's a place that you study by your own self. So you must study by your own self if you want to succeed now. Please, I'm very passionate about that. We should make use of the opportunity that we have. Please, if you have any question, drop it in the comment section in the group. Or you can drop in the comment section when I can answer, because I cannot see messages from here. The one I'm going live, I cannot see messages again. Please, thank you. I appreciate that all of you are out here this time. I pray the Lord will help us and give us the strength to continue this class so that at the end of the day we have good results. Because it's actually annoying that you finish your course, like you pay school fees, you register for course, you register for exam, at the end of the day, what you get is not like, you know, look at your score, you're like, what is this? So after all my money, my time, my energy, everything is wasted. Not that it's actually not like doing us, it's all that doing ourselves, because most of us actually want to read at the last minute. You just want to read at the last minute, and it's not good. How will you combine, like, I mean, at 200 and something pages? I mean, like, this course has 109 pages in just one night. How is that possible? Or you compare those people that are combining it in one night and the people that have been doing practice every day. You cannot be the same. So please endeavor to join the class. Thank you very much. We are ending the class now. Please, if you have any question, drop in the comment section. I will answer them. Thank you very much for joining the class. Please share this video link to other groups. When we have people that are doing CIT104, please endeavor to share it to other groups so they can also benefit from it. I'm happy for you guys. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Let's go to the group if it's still open. Let's go and continue from there. Thank you very much.